And we're back.
No way!
We are.
Woohoo!
Welcome to the Auto Authorities podcast. We have an incredible show. And my name is Jay Grossman. I'm the founder and CEO of iAuto Agent. And this is Mr.
David Marks with Quality Auto STL, home of trusted services with no surprises.
You know what? It is tax time, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Which
you know
means
that means
it's scam time for everybody.
Yep.
But see, people really don't know what that means. They don't know what scam time means. So
don't know when they got scammed, they'll find out. They'll figure it out.
We're going to find out today what scam time means, because there are numerous scams online right now. I'm even going to share some of my stories of what I have been through trying to help my clients buy vehicles and how to avoid those scams. Are you ready to do this, Mr. David Marks?
Absolutely.
Do it.
Have you ever felt like you were taken for a ride when buying, selling, or repairing your car? Well, not anymore. I'm Jay.
And I'm Dave.
And this is the podcast that tells you what to watch out for, whether you're buying, selling,
or repairing your car.
With 47 years of automotive experience, we are the Automotive Authorities. This podcast is sponsored by iAuto Agent. We're real estate agents for cars.
And Quality Auto STL, trusted services with no surprises.
Boom!
Booyah!
And we are back. And you know what? We have surpassed a year doing this together. And this is just like so awesome. Once a week for a year, we've been coming to you, the listeners, the viewers, however you're watching us or listening to us. We are so excited. So how about that?
It's amazing. Yeah, I can't believe we've been doing this for a year. I had no idea. I didn't think we would really still be doing this, honestly. I just kind of like, hey, yeah, we'll get together once in a while and tell everybody. But it's turned into way more than what I expected, what I anticipated, and I love it. And the feedback we get from it, it's amazing. I had no idea it was going to turn into what it is, and it just shows you that we add value, because if we weren't adding value, we wouldn't be getting the feedback and we wouldn't still be here doing this.
Yeah, I mean, everywhere that I go, I have sometimes even people that I don't know. They're like, "Oh, you're the guy that does the podcast with David Marks."
Yeah,
and I'm like, I'm that guy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Well, we're going to talk about some really serious stuff. And if you've been listening to our podcast or watching our podcast, we're going to be talking about it's tax time, which means scam time. And the young lady that got scammed, that we got her money back. That was a really cool thing.
Wow. That just doesn't happen every day either.
No, because usually you don't get your money back.
Nope.
If you are just joining us, I want to thank our sponsors, iAuto Agent. They're real estate agents for cars. They will help sell your vehicle. They will market, show, and list your vehicle at no cost to you. And they also help you navigate the entire buying process. And that's really what we're going to be talking about today is the buying process. And if you're just joining us, so like you can watch us live on our Facebook group page, the Auto Authorities Podcast, and you just click join group, or you can listen to us recorded on YouTube, and you just go to our YouTube page, the Auto Authorities Podcast, and then you can click the subscribe button to subscribe, and then the notification button in the top right corner to be notified of all of our podcasts. And if you don't know by now, if you see what's scrolling on the bottom of the screen there, the autoauthorities.com, that's the autoauthorities.com is our website. And that is where you can leave comments and ideas for shows. Okay. And do we have a free gift that we're going to be giving away later?
I guess we can.
You're going to have to listen to the end. And we're going to save the best for the end. So you have
of
to
course.
listen.
Duh.
So let's really get into this, and let's start with. We're going to start with the obvious. This is like, how do you avoid a scam? And first and foremost, you want to look at a real like the really low prices out there, right? I mean, like, if you know that something's worth 15,000 and they're selling it for 4,000 or 3,000, it's a scam. What are your thoughts on that, Mr. David
Yeah,
Morris?
it absolutely. There's a reason they have a low price. Another thing, low price, and beware of the ones where they say no title. When they say they're selling stuff without a title, probably what that means is they went to what's that place where you can, one of those title loans? They got a title loan out on it, but they still have another title. And then guess what? They sell it, they're gone. You go to title it, and you're up creek without a paddle, because now the title companies who knows where the car is at, guess what, they're coming. Because what the people will do is they'll get a duplicate title, so they have two titles. They'll go and get a title loan on it, then they go to sell it, and then and this is one of the things that can happen with the really low price, because they want to move that car quick. So they'll take a $15,000 car, they'll sell it for 10, because they know the clock's ticking before the title company really tries to find that car.
Well, that's a huge scam. And here's the thing, is that the way that you could figure out like how to get around that particular scam is, if you have access to Carfax or AutoCheck and you look on it, and if it says lien, that means that that vehicle has a lien on the vehicle. And sometimes there's not even that much time before it. So like, for exactly what Mr. David Mark says, is that they may go get that loan, then they've already applied for that new title, so they have that title waiting, and it may not even pop up on Carfax. And then you find out when you go register the vehicle that they can't register that vehicle because it has a remaining lien. That's a huge one. So they'll bait you in with a really, really low price. And we're going to be talking about private owners and dealers. So I'm going to refer to the private owner and the dealer. Sometimes it's only referring to the dealer. This is both, because
I guess dealers could do this too.
Well, let's talk about that, because
I've never thought about a dealer doing this.
Well, that's going to be the next thing we talk about, is dealers pretending to be private owners. Right? So you go on Facebook Marketplace, you go on Craigslist, and the reason why we're doing this episode, I don't know if you get called. I get 6 calls a week about, do you have a $5,000 car and under? Do you have a $3,000 car and under?
You can't get those anymore. I used to be able to get them, but not today.
Well, these people are the most susceptible to scams, because they see that $3,000 car and they're like, oh my God, this is exactly in my price range. And then it says, it looks like a private owner.
Yeah.
And then they contact them. And then it turns out it is what?
It's a dealer.
It's either a dealer or a
curb stoner.
Voila. And what these people are doing is, and to explain what a curb stoner is, it's somebody that tries to sell a vehicle, and they don't pay sales tax on it, and they're just kind of flipping titles. They don't really have a dealer's license, and all they're doing is passing titles. They never really sign the title, because the person before them signed the title, so they basically don't have to pay sales tax on it, and that's completely illegal.
And although they don't have a dealer's license, and two, there's a lot of people out there that did something too that did it. So I have a dealer's license, and I have a friend of mine that's listed as an agent on my license. Somebody has a license, and then they got all their buddies on their license, and then they're trying to just pawn whatever, because it's not, if they pawn some to somebody else, it's not going to come back on them. It's going to come back on the person who holds the license. So what do they care? You
better believe it. And
that's a real curb stoner.
And let's talk about, like, if somebody's looking at an ad What are the things that you can be looking at in that ad right now? How to determine if it's a dealer? I'm going to give you one. If it has a D tag on the back, a dealer tag. If it says D and it has a number,
In the
that's a
state of
dealer.
Missouri.
Yep. And if they don't claim that they're a dealer, so it already says private owner and you see a D tag, run as fast as you can.
Yep.
Run, Bobby, run. We don't want Bobby to get into any types of situations like this. So hopefully Bobby's listening.
Look at where the car's at, where they're taking the pictures. Most private owners will take a picture of their car in their driveway or in front of their house. And we need to talk about that too. But a lot of these guys that are curb owners, it's in some random parking lot that's, and they will make sure that car is spotless because people buy on looks. So they want to make sure that car is spotless. A private owner is not going to go, most likely will not go to the length to make sure you can eat off the seats like a curb stoner will.
Yep. And let's talk about some more things. Look, if it's a dealer, like when you go to a dealer on the upper corner on the driver's side, they always have like a little yellow tag or a white tag. That's a stock tag. And that says that that's a dealer. They also may have a buyer's guide in the window. And that's something that you absolutely have to have when you're a dealer, is have a buyer's guide in the vehicle. So if you're seeing those things, you're dealing with a dealer. That doesn't mean it's a reputable dealer either, does it?
No, there's a lot. There's no, especially in this situation, because also dealers, and at least in the state of Missouri, it's state law. They have to sell the stuff off the lot where the license is held. So if they're saying they want you to meet in some random place, and then you see a dealer plate. Well, that's a red flag there that guy does. That's probably got some issues. He's going to want to sell a car as is. And as soon as he's got your money, he's gone and good luck. That's exactly what happened to Alyssa that we had on here a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, exactly. And that person, or let's just call him an animal.
Yeah.
That animal literally had lost his dealer's license, fraudulently opened up another dealership under a different name, under his girlfriend or wife's name. I mean, I'm telling you, there's all kinds of stuff. And I hate to say this, but there are people coming from other parts of the country. We hear about like hacking and scams in Russia and whatever, and they're coming here. Well, I'm telling you right now, it's coming here. It's here now. People from other countries are coming in specifically just to try to scam you. Is that close enough?
Yep. It's unfortunate, but they come from other parts of the world. It's not really that hard to get a dealer's license. And
I say country, I meant world.
Yeah. And it's
Parts
a
of the
shame.
country.
He said, that's all right. We get it. Our audience gets it.
Yeah, it's scary too, because here's the thing. Once they get caught, they flee back to their own country and you're never going to catch them. And then they'll be back again under a different name.
Yep.
I mean, it's all a scam. And so when I get people that want these $5,000 cars or $3,000 or $4,000 cars, I cringe because I'm like, okay, well, what are your expectations? Oh, I want something reliable. I want a low miles car. Something's not going to break down. Just something to get my kid back and forth to school. Holy cow. That's the hardest car to buy. That's a harder car to buy than a $30,000 car.
If I get them, I make phone calls. They're gone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to advertise them.
No, you don't have to. Not anything under $5,000. It will be gone if it's anything good.
Yep.
So let's go to another part of it. So let's say you're looking online, and what I like to do, especially if it's a dealer, because if it's a private owner, you won't know, but you look at Google reviews. Let's see if these people are legit. Like, what are other people saying about them? Are they saying that they're scammers? Did they say, their car broke down, the moment that they took delivery? and it's a common theme. Look at the Google reviews. If you're just contacting these people and you know that they're dealers and you don't look at the Google reviews,
you're making a big mistake.
Yeah. You're going to get yourself into a scam. And then, use your best judgment. You can see if they're real or not. You can just use
You
that.
could tell. The other thing I was on Marketplace, so I have 2 Marketplace ratings. I personally am a highly rated seller on Marketplace because if you've been a Marketplace slot, they have a Marketplace profile, and then my business also has its own profile, and we have excellent reviews on it. So look at the Facebook reviews, look at them specifically the Marketplace reviews, and we can't forget about BBB. Look at BBB. What's their BBB rating?
Yeah, absolutely. And so here's the other piece too. So I'm going to tell you a story. Are you ready for story time?
Oh, it's story time. Story time.
I'm going to tell you a story, but not before we take just a quick, just a thank you to our sponsors, iAutoAgent.com, the real estate agents for cars, and David Marks with Quality Auto STL, trusted services with no surprises. If you are just tuning in, we are talking about it is tax time, which means it's scam time. And just like you had said earlier, this is not just during tax time.
It's
it just happens
all
a
the
lot
time.
more right
It's
now.
always scam season.
Right. Well, people are getting their tax money right now. So the
Not me.
scammers are all ready for them to go. So you ready for story time?
Ooh, yeah.
Okay. All right. Listen closely. So I had a client of mine that wanted to buy a Mercedes, and he was using our buyer's agent program where we help navigate the entire process for the our clients at iAuto Agent. And he says to me, I really want this Mercedes. So he sends me a link of this Mercedes. Now, I'm a trained, because I've been doing this almost 26 years. I see this thing and I'm like, something doesn't seem right.
Right.
So here's a golden nugget for you. The first inclination was there were only 3 pictures. And on the pictures were just simply exterior pictures. And I was like, And then you look at the description and then you say, okay, well, I see the mileage, but then the VIN was not there, which is common. So don't get me wrong. Taking it a step further, even though I could do it, I asked them to send me a Carfax. They sent me a Carfax, and you know what they did?
Just see what happens. Why not?
They manipulated the Carfax to look like that they own the car. It was a company called hotwheeldeals.com. So I pulled my Carfax and I compared the two, and guess what?
Ooh.
There's never been a company called hotwheeldeals.com. Boom, right there. So you're thinking, okay, this is a scam. Well, let's dig into this a little further.
Sure.
I looked for the Google reviews, just like Dave and I suggested. There were no Google reviews. I looked at the phone number. So if it's a legitimate place and you have a phone number, what do you think's going to show up, Mr. David Marks?
You're going to be able to call and somebody's going to answer the phone, or when you Google it, it's going to come back to a business or somewhere. It's not going to go into a black hole.
And if you're a reputable dealer, would you agree that you're going to have probably more than one listing too with that phone number, because you have that phone number advertised in a lot of places?
Absolutely.
So we looked at the phone number. There is no such thing. How scary is this? And I mean, we're talking about a really high-end Mercedes. So we're taking 2 different types of vehicles. We're talking about the $5,000 and under vehicle, and now we're talking about really high-end vehicles. So this doesn't mean you're safe if you're looking for a high-end vehicle. You're not safe. And so here's the other thing that I noticed. I looked at the address on the website. I did a reverse search on Google. I'm taking this pretty darn far.
Yeah.
It was a freaking cornfield that it went to. Now, granted, in my company, we don't have a building, we don't have a lot. We do have a home base. So if you Google us, you will see a nice office building. And so a cornfield.
Not an office or commercial property, a cornfield in nowhere, USA.
Right. And so, and the man that sent this, he's a really, really good client of mine. His name was Ed. And Ed is one of the most brilliant people I know. Super smart entrepreneur, doesn't want to spend the time looking for cars himself. So he hires, the professionals.
Sure.
And he was blown away when he found out this.
Yeah.
And I'm telling this to everybody here because I'm telling you right now, I can go on Facebook Marketplace right now. I could even go on other websites right now, including Craigslist and even some of the other ones. Even they're getting into the bigger websites like Auto Trader and Car Gurus. They're getting into those. They're figuring it out. The scammers will always figure it out. But if we're smarter than them, then we win, not them.
Mm-hmm. They figured out how to manipulate the algorithms and the systems that these companies have in place to block these ads, and they know how to you can't block every ad. It's not going to happen.
I'm going to drop some golden nuggets here too. So here's a golden nugget for you. Let's say, and this is actually on both private owner and dealer. You're going to look at the car. Well, number one, make sure you go to a police station. That's number one. But make sure you see that title and match the VIN on the title with the VIN on the car. Very, very important. And I can tell you of another story. Too bad we don't have a ton of time. But basically, what happens if you don't do that, then they could be selling you a car with a fake title or a title for a different car. There's all kinds of things that can happen here.
Yep.
Protect yourself. And Dave, the next time somebody calls you or me, we're going to send them a link to this and say, you should watch this first.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, then too, when it comes to the VIN on the car, there's multiple spots where the VIN is stamped. The main spot is on the dash. Okay. And then there's usually a door sticker, and they usually have it under the hood. The VIN's on all kinds of places, but just double check that the dash, the title, and the door sticker all match. If they don't match, walk away. Run away.
Absolutely. And I'm gonna give you another one. Another golden nugget. This may be a record of how many golden nuggets we have given, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. So here's the next one. When you are at the police station, because you guys will listen to us, I want you to take because they're going to get your license. I want you to get the people's license that are showing you the car. And I want you to match up their name with whose name is on the title. Why is that important?
Wow, this is huge. Because
Mm-hmm.
they could go back to what we talked about earlier. The title loans or it's some kind of scam. It's not their car.
Yep. And when they say to you, "Oh, I'm selling this for my friend,"
Yeah. No, they're not.
wow, wasn't it? So I'm just letting everybody know because I am getting these calls left and right, and I know someone's going to get scammed. And if we could just spread this word, they need to watch this. They need to watch this, and I even have more stuff that I'm on a roll, and that's for the private owner. But technically, I mean, like on a dealer, if it's a reputable dealer, and you'll know the reputable ones versus what we call the honest Abe dealers, you shouldn't have any issues with that.
No.
But let me tell you something that I have seen a lot. Whenever you see an ad out there, sometimes they put an email address. Email me at this email. And you're like, well, why are they putting an email when you can just send them a message right through the system?
Yeah, I get Marketplace anytime I put a car. I love it because then I know what car they're referring to instead of which one are you referring to? Because I don't know. Sometimes
you know the answer to this, and listen closely. Another golden nugget. Rack them up.
Yep.
The reason why you do that is because they're baiting you for more information. They're trying to take your information. They're trying to hack into your life some way, somehow, because data is king and data is worth a lot of money. Okay, I got more. You ready?
Oh, no, we could talk about this the rest of the day.
Because we're going to end this with some really, really good questions to ask the people that are, the people that are buying the vehicle. Okay, so this is for a dealer only. Go to their Google My Business page. Obviously, you'll see reviews there, but go to the Google My Business page and just see what kind of information they have. Because a lot of times they will have a picture of their building, or they'll have a picture of some type of office or something, or some
Sure.
type of logo, or just something. Because when I had that scam that they were trying to pull on my client, I went to that and there was no such thing. And you know what I did? And this is not something you have to do, but I actually went into, you know what whois.org? Do you know what that is?
Oh.
Basically, what it is if you want to see if a website is really legit, if you go to that, you can actually see, if you put the website in, when they actually when the website started, or when they actually got their URL.
What is it now?
It's called whois.
Whois.org?
I think it's whois.org. If you just type in whois, it'll pop it up. You want to go to the right one. But what I noticed was there were several so it was like opened up in a foreign country,
Of course.
and it was only opened up within a month of seeing that's the scam. And then what I came to find out when I kept doing other searches on that phone number was also being used for other websites. And then I would look at the other websites, and it was exactly the same scammer that was starting all these websites. Yep. It's crazy. We're gonna end with some really, really good questions to ask. And I have a couple of them that I just really want to share with everybody that's listening. The number one question I always ask: what is the reason for selling? Why do I ask that question? Number one, I'm going to find out right away if it's a dealer. They'll say, I'm a dealer. I shuffle a few cars here and there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I bet you do.
It's like, well, why don't you tell me you're a dealer? So
Right.
the next thing is, the reason why I ask is because when people are asked questions and you just zip your mouth and let them talk, they will have all kinds of stories for you.
Yep.
And it's just like if you're talking to anybody in public that you just meet, you're trying to determine if you want to have a relationship with them. Do you want to go meet Guido in a back alley? Heck no, you don't. But do you want to meet a nice family that's trying to sell a car because they don't need their car anymore at a police station? Yeah. But if you ask that question, you're going to get a long answer. Well, I'm selling this. I really, really like it. It was a really, and I'm telling you a real story here, by the way. It was really, really a great car. And, we just, there was a couple things that, you could get them fixed really inexpensively, though. It just had a couple noises. We chose not to fix it because the person said not to fix the car. Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me? Are you telling me right now that there's a problem with your car and that's why you're selling it? That's exactly what they said.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, it happens all day long. Asking that one question, what is the reason for selling?
Yep.
And I'm going to give you the last question. What do you think it is?
Can I go get an independent inspection on it?
Boom! That's it. That's it.
That's the most important thing.
It's the most important.
Yeah.
And you know what? When they're like, well, no, you can't.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Yep, that's when you're gone.
So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this this podcast because we really care about you guys. And we want you to make the right decision for you and your family. And please share this podcast with everybody you possibly know, especially when they're looking for cars that are lower end cars, even higher end cars. This is how you avoid the car ad scam. Go to theautoauthorities.com, auto, AUTO, authorities.com, and leave us questions about, what do you want to know? What kind of ideas do you have out there? I really think we hit the nail right on the head today, didn't we?
Absolutely.
As we always do.
Yeah.
All right. You got any closing remarks, Mr. David Marks?
Get that car inspected before you buy it.
All right. Well, we'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody.